If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know I love reading manga, but most of what I read right now is all Shonen Jump related stuff due to the various videos and projects I'm doing, like the History of Shonen Jump series. So as a way to read some manga from different magazines, genres and demographics, I thought of an idea I'd like to call Oneshot Roulette. The rules are simple. By using the website spin.moe, you can set it up to give you a random anime or manga from my anime list or list. So using this will be spinning a wheel for one-shots exclusively. I'll read 3 one-shots, give you a basic rundown of them, my thoughts, and then at the end I'll tell you if they're a must-read or belong in a trash fire. No one-shot is off the table unless I spin something I can't find or isn't translated somehow. If that's the case, I'll spin again. So without further ado, the chips are down, the ball is raring to go, and we're ready to do our first spin. First off, we have Soshite Hibi Koishiteku by Sumomo Yumeka. You might know her for her art on Makoto Shinkai's Voices of a Different Star, as well as Our Happy Time. I know her from reading My Girl and A Tale's Tale. Both are very soft and lovely slice-of-life dramas. This one is one of her earlier works, and in English it could be translated to Love for Days to Come. It's a shonen ai or boys love manga, so we're starting out with something very gay.
Earth can't live with all those parasites. Wisdom can overcome
And it appears it's part of the Shonen Ai no Bigaku compilation or some magazine called Rooster. Honestly, from my basic research, I couldn't really find much about them. It's also only 6 pages long, so it's a real short one, but it's pretty sweet. There's no sexual stuff or anything here, it's just 2 boys with a fondness for each other who want to hold hands. It's actually really cute. The art is pretty simple, it's a more unrefined version of Yumeka's later work. There's a heavy use of screen tone and a lot of small panels. It didn't really wow me visually, but it has some nice expressions. Due to its shortness, unless you're a big fan of Sumomo Yumeka, I think this one is a pretty easy pass. It's nothing bad, it's just nothing much other than some nice vibes. Our next spin leads us to Suki to Ienai by Yukino Miyawaki, a shoujo author who made manga throughout the 90s and 2000s, with this work being published in the shoujo magazine Choo Choo in 2006. It also appears to be the most popular work in the West for the magazine and Miyawaki's bibliography, possibly due to it being a one-shot and other things not being translated, or because it's an incest story.
This man, He's my older brother. This taste.
What the hell?
The English name for the work is I Can't Say I Like You, and it's close to 50 pages long. It follows Sheena, a love-struck young girl who is in love with her brother, but don't worry because it's actually her adopted brother and there's no blood relation, but he doesn't know. She, on the other hand, does. The plot basically goes through her mental state as she tries to rationalize her sisterly and romantic love for her brother, getting jealous with any girls who attempt to date him, and overall pining for him while she's angstily trying to work out the logistics of their relationship in her head. It's all a little silly and ends with Sheena attempting to destroy the piece of paper that shows her brother is adopted, only for her brother to tell her that he already knows, and also loves her, which I feel goes against some of the actions he exhibits earlier on in the story. They then end up kissing, and it ends with them always being together. The artwork is what I'd point to if you ask me what a shoujo manga looks like, and it's serviceably drawn. The flow of it all is pretty snappy, and it's a quick read. I do like all these screen tone effects used, the little stars, sparkles and flowers. It's really cute, and you don't really see it much in shonen manga. Sheena is a bit relatable in the sense of pining over someone. That's definitely something I can sympathize with, especially as it's someone she can't have. You kind of have to ignore the incest elements, I guess, if you really want to sympathize, and unless you yourself have a very complicated relationship. This isn't really the video to discuss that though. I do think how it's written with the twists and turns, they're all a little bit overblown and overly emotional for me though. It's very dramatic and maybe the lack of substance doesn't help it there. So potentially, if you like these types of stories and you like the synopsis, it might be interesting to you, but I don't think it's very solid, so I'd give it a pass. And our final spin was very surprising. Coming from Hiromu Arakawa, the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist, we have Souten no Koumori, or Bat in Blue Sky. This came out in 2006 during the serialization of Fullmetal Alchemist and follows Hen Pukumaru, a shinobi of the Iron Demons, who wakes up in the mansion belonging to their enemy. What follows is a pretty nice story dipping into themes of personal identity where Hen Pukumaru grapples with her role as a killer. Despite its short length as a one-shot, 63 pages in total, Bat in Blue Sky takes ample time to set up its characters, gives them room to breathe in these nice, quiet, textless pages, and has time for some cool fights as well as an epilogue. It has this filmic quality to its story structure, which I don't think will blow you away, but it's a tried and true story formula, I feel, and Arakawa does well here to tell the tale of a renegade shinobi questioning their ways. The art, as expected, is good. I wouldn't quite put it up there with FMA, as the characters are a little bit blander design-wise, and a lot more space is used for dialogue, as this is a one-shot, but her core style shines through, and it's well-paced and panelled. Out of the three I'm talking about here today, this is the one worth trying. It's good as a standalone little story, and regardless of if you're a fan of FMA or Arakawa's other work, I think everyone can find something in this one. It's not a must-read though, as it didn't do anything to absolutely blow me away. And those are today's three one-shots. Sitting at the bottom, I'd put Suki Toai Ienai. Not horrible, but not something I'd necessarily push anyone to read. Next is Soshite Hibi Koishiteku. Its lack of substance holds it back, but it's a small shot of sweetness I did like. And on top is easily Souten no Koumori. I'd like to do this again in the future now and then to mix up the types of manga I read, so let me know in the comments if this was interesting. If you did like this and want to hear me talk about manga more, then check out my channel, where I have a whole host of videos on manga and Shonen Jump, including my History of Shonen Jump series, where I go over the history of the weekly Shonen Jump manga magazine, Manga by Manga, starting from the very beginning in 1968. Or if more modern manga are your thing, I have plenty of other videos on the channel for you to enjoy, so consider subscribing. If you really like what I make, consider subscribing to me on Patreon, where you can gain access to a few small benefits, including being thanked at the end of my videos like my current patrons now. Thank you to Kinocha, Cody, Kaizoku Gairu, and SoraQuill0. Thank you all for supporting me and the videos I make. As always, I hope you've enjoyed. Remember to be kind and take care.